Okay, so we just found out that the US is now giving Argentina $40 billion. Let's talk about who's getting rich from it, because it's not us. To review, you'll likely remember that last month, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced a $20 billion bailout for Argentina. Then this week, Trump doubled it, adding another $20 billion. Our government is still shut down, federal workers are not being paid, people are struggling everywhere, farmers are really struggling, so none of us are benefiting from this. Who is?
So America's dumbest person, the alleged President Donald Trump, bailed out Argentina with $20 billion. But now the America First president is contemplating doubling that to $40 billion. So tell me again how this president is America First. No money for the American people, but $40 billion for Argentina. Yeah, that's what your presidents do.
Oh, farmers, you effed around and you're finding out, didn't you? They are furious with Donald Trump over this Argentinian bailout. What? Yes, they are furious with Donald Trump over the Argentinian bailout and over Donald Trump's trade policies that have got them into a financial crisis. Here is one quote from Polk County, Iowa. They say, "We are facing financial crisis because of avoiding common sense trade policies, and instead we start trade wars with other countries such as China that are buying in the past our soybeans." What? Yes. Well, hello. Donald Trump did this to you all back in his first term. Why do you expect him to be any different? You know, you do the same thing over and over and you expect a different result. This is what he did and cost you all millions and billions of dollars, and the billions of dollars that he had to bail you out before then, having to do the same thing now. On top of this, he's now sending $40 billion to help bail out Argentinian farmers that are selling their soybeans to China at cheaper prices, and helping his MAGA buddy try to stay in power in Argentina.
For Argentina, what's the benefits for United States in helping this way Argentina?
Just helping a great philosophy take over a great country. Argentina is one of the most beautiful countries that I've ever seen. And we want to see it succeed. Very simple. I mean, we don't have to do it. It's not going to make a big difference for our country, but it will in terms of South America. If Argentina does well, you're going to have others following.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Teresa.
And I'm Scholar, and if you're new here, welcome to Sistalk React, where we react to trending stories all over the world with thoughtful perspectives and engaging discussions. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic.
This topic is a bit wild, yes, because US government is sending $40 billion bailout to Argentina. Yes, you had me right, $40 billion. This figure is a bit crazy, right? Especially right now where the Americans are struggling with healthcare, you know, paying rent, and even buying grocery.
But here is where it gets controversial, and so many Americans are asking themselves this question. I mean, wait a minute, we have been paying bills, we can't even fix things here at home, and we are sending over billions of money to other countries. Think about it. People are still struggling with high rent and expensive groceries, and even small businesses. We have seen small businesses closing, and now they wake up to news of Washington helping Argentina with billions. I mean, it's raising a lot of eyebrows. But before we dive in ahead, let's first watch how people have reacted to this news of US helping out Argentina, and then we'll come back with a full commentary at the end of the video. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel,
please subscribe for us. We really appreciate it if you do so.
America first! America first! Oh wait, that $20 billion bailout to Argentina is now $40 billion. All while the Republicans are trying to gut Medicaid and healthcare for working Americans, while farmers are sitting there with no soybeans being sold because of Trump's bullshit tariffs. So even MAGA, this is not America first. You have been swindled. You have been lied to.
We've now given them $40 billion in the last week. How much has gone to American farmers? Zero. Trump also wasn't going to pay the military. They said they weren't paying the military during the shutdown. Oh well, military always gets paid during the shutdown, not under Donald Trump. He said no. Why? This was my favorite. A couple days ago, the Treasury Secretary, when announcing the additional $20 billion for Argentina, said, oh, we can't pay the military because of the shutdown. We're not allowed to. Oh, you're not allowed to pay the military during the shutdown, but you're allowed to pay Argentina. That's nice. Now, here's another point, too. $40 freaking billion. You know how much money they saved by shutting down AID, our foreign aid program that ended up killing lots of children in Africa? $14 to $16 billion they saved. We just pissed it away. $40 billion they gave to Argentina. These guys don't care about money. They are so fiscally reckless. They shut down these programs because they wanted to hurt people. They shut down these programs because they thought it was Democrats, like only Democrats care about helping people. That's why they cut money from Medicaid. That's why they cut money from the ACA. They're not letting us renew the subsidies for your health insurance. The prices are going to double because of Republicans. And now we've got this.
Trump just gave a $20 billion bailout to Argentina to basically save their dollar. Okay, he met with the leader of Argentina on Tuesday, and we're giving them $20 billion. End of story. Meanwhile, the poor people in this country, even the lower middle class, I mean, we've got nothing from them. The government shutdown had the National Guard pay stop, and also there would be no pay for ICE agents. Trump got funds from somewhere, and now the National Guard are being paid during the government shutdown, and ICE agents will be paid during the government shutdown. But SNAP benefits, food stamps, for the month of November, they may be wiped out. Many of you who received those benefits will not be getting them in November, or you'll get a fraction of what you get. So you see what he's doing? He's not giving anything to anyone in this country, really. He's not giving any aid to the poor in this country, but he's giving $20 billion to Argentina. Facts. Facts matter. Look it up. People with money, if they want, can leave, go live somewhere else until things simmer down here. Poor people cannot leave. Look at what they're doing to the country. They are trying to not only suppress, but really wipe out the poor. They're going to make it so you can't even have health insurance, and you'll get sick and die.
And he doubled it to $40 billion Donald Trump is sending to Argentina to bail out their economy after Argentina's soybean farmers undercut United States soybean farmers and stole all of our business with China. Somebody explain to me how that is America first, how that fits in with the America first philosophy. And before you say, oh, well, it's private businesses that are going to be sending that money to Argentina, they can't pay their taxes here. We refuse to tax them here in the middle of a government shutdown. The government is shut down because billionaires and mega corporations won't pay their taxes here. We're trying to give them more tax breaks. And yet they're sending $40 billion to our competition in the soybean industry to bail out that economy. Somebody, please explain to me how that fits in with America First. I would love to hear it.
Hey, y'all, it's me, all in good fun on October 15th, and I want to talk about the $20 billion bailout that the United States recently sent to Argentina. They send it supposedly as an economic bailout because their economy is hurting. I think if you're going to do a $20 billion bailout, you ought to be sending it to the United States, where people are losing their health insurance coverage, farms are going out of business, people can't afford groceries, stuff like that. Maybe send a bailout to the United States. But here's the thing. I don't really think that was a bailout at all. I think that's what they're saying. I think that was a payment. I think that was a payment for services rendered, because I think the Argentinians, they gave lessons to the occupier of the White House and to us and Stephen Miller. Lessons on copying what Argentina did during their dirty war in the 1970s and early 80s, when they disappeared thousands of people, kidnapped, abducted, disappeared people, flew them in planes over the ocean, dropped them in, went after all the political enemies to the government. All the enemies went after them, disappeared them and their families. I think that the occupier of the White House and us, they went and took lessons from Argentina on how to disappear people. And they're using what they learned right now on us here in the United States. So that's my spin, and that's your history lesson for the day. Take care. I'm all in good fun.
Hey, Trumpers, I got a question about the $40 billion that President Donald Trump's just given to Argentina. He's giving it to him as a bailout. I thought President Donald Trump said no bailouts for nobody, no nothing. That it's America first for once. Remember all that? we're giving all this money away to all these other countries while we have starving Americans, while we have veterans that are going through getting lack of services. Do you remember all that? All these veterans and the administration being cut, all their funding being cut, and you're okay with giving $40 billion to Argentina, of all places, huh? What do you think President Donald Trump's going to get out of that? What is he getting out of it? Because it doesn't make sense to me how you guys can run around and everything that the Democrats have done to help improve conditions and humanity around the world, you guys throw a tantrum about. What should be for Americans? But Americans are getting cut off of food and SNAP and Medicaid to some of our most vulnerable in our society, right? Lift up by your bootstraps. It's what you're telling Americans that are going through a hard time in one of the worst economies that this country has seen in a long time. But that's okay with you. Let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. And what is President Donald Trump getting for it? And why aren't you saying anything about it, MAGA, Republicans? Because you can't. It's not defendable. Bye.
Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent says we're working on a $20 billion facility that will complement our swap line with private banks and sovereign funds that I believe will be more focused on the debt market. Well, Trump says we're helping a great philosophy take over a great country. We want him to succeed. This referring to Javier Milei, who's the current president, and he is running to be reelected. Those 40 billions are contingent to Javier Milei being reelected as a president. Otherwise, Trump said that if he loses, we're not going to be generous with Argentina. Now, critics are calling this very un-American mentality because they're using taxpayer dollars to support Argentina instead of military forces. And let's just remember that bailout in between the US and Argentina started very quickly affecting the soy farmers here in the US, because as soon as the US agreed on that initial $20 billion, Argentina dropped their exportation tax fees on soy, and China started buying from Argentina instead of the US. As always, sources are on the caption. Spread the word and follow for more news.
So Gavin Newsom says Trump wants to eliminate your health care and give $40 billion to Argentina instead. America first. So Gavin Newsom is against a handout if it's supposed to be paid back. Yeah, because the bailout to Argentina is a loan, and it's basically a line of credit. So let me get this straight. Gavin Newsom's only against handouts if they have to be repaid, and is suddenly against handouts to non-Americans? Funny, because there was that $175 billion to Ukraine that your party supported. Or how about the $8 to $9 billion you're going to spend on illegal aliens for healthcare between this year and next year? So Newsom will give billions to illegals, nothing to fire victims, and will criticize a loan if it has to be paid back. Got it. Also, where does it say that Trump wants to eliminate all healthcare? Show me a quote or where he actually says this. I'll wait. So why don't we tag Gavin Newsom down in the comments and call him out on his bullshit?
They really played the long game, didn't they? First, they escaped from Germany post-World War II, flee to Argentina. Then, 80 years later, they take over America. Only to send $40 billion back to Argentina. That's a really slow-rolling long con right there. I mean, holy shit. You gotta hand it to him.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Frederick Pogue here. So farmers, MAGA farmers, you know, I think it was like 84% of y'all, or 70%, something like that voted for Trump. How y'all doing right now? I know you saw the news where the Argentina bailout that went from 20 billion to 40 billion. He offered y'all 10 after he killed your international markets, which is where a lot of the produce for small farmers in America goes, right? You know, Argentina is picking up the China soybean market, right? Yeah, to the tune of $14 billion after Trump, with his trade war and the tariffs and all, just crushed yours. All the licenses and everything y'all needed to trade with China, the tens of billions of dollars, that's gone. And I mean, you know, he said you could make it up selling within America, but Americans don't eat soybeans. We ain't big on tofu. China is, though. They're going to Argentina. $14 billion. And getting $40 billion bailout of our tax dollars. He offered y'all 10. I don't even know if he's going to deliver on that. This is beyond FAFO at this point. This is just the sick realization of realizing, I hope you realize that you ain't in the club. Nope. You out here with the rest of us. He got your votes, and he don't care about y'all no more. I mean, he never did care about y'all. He just wanted your votes. And you kept giving it to him. A lot of y'all gave it to him 3 times. And he already done went through this once in his first term. Keep trying to tell y'all, you ain't in the club. $40 billion to Argentina. And it's not even going to their farmers. It's going to the billionaire buddies of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. You know, Rob Centrone, he has all that debt from Argentina. You know, after they ran it into the ground because they got some right-wing lunatic to be their president. Man, that sounds a lot like us, don't it? Anyway, that's all I got for you. Try to hang on, MAGA small farmers. I mean, it's going to, I mean, I guess try to keep the faith and defend democracy, but above all, just remember, you ain't in the club. You out here with us. Maybe it's time to start acting like it.
Trump's bailout could have the added effect of hurting American farmers, who, we should note, are already suffering immensely under the effects of Trump's chaotic whipsawing global trade war. For the second time in a decade, Trump has picked a fight with China at the expense of American farmers, who make up, obviously, a pretty sizable portion of his political base. You see, American farmers grow a lot of soybeans, and China buys them. Last year, China bought over half, 52% of our total soybean exports. They are our largest customer. Billions and billions of dollars. This year is a different story. You see that graph? This graph shows our soybean exports to China over the last year. That line in May is where sales stop entirely, kaput, completely, all as a result of Trump's tariffs. Farmers are now left with crops they cannot sell, and it is having an absolutely catastrophic effect on their livelihoods. Okay, so how does Argentina factor into this? Well, guess what? Argentina also grows a lot of soybeans. And Trump's buddy, President Milei, just slashed export tariffs to make it much cheaper for China to buy them. In other words, China is replacing American-grown soybeans with Argentinian-grown soybeans. And Trump is bailing out Argentina as they take sales directly away from American farmers.
Bailing out Argentina doesn't help my market. Sending me the tariff money that me and every other taxpayer in this country is paying for. I buy parts and I buy groceries and I'm paying the tariffs exactly like everybody else is. Sending me that money doesn't fix my problem. I mean, to me, currently all we want to do is throw money everywhere at problems instead of actually sit down and try to fix one. If Argentina fails, okay, they're my second biggest competition. If we're going to make American agriculture great and make it stand on its own 2 feet, then I need my second biggest competitor to fail.
Again, this is really crazy, right? I mean, think about this. Trump is explicitly, through his unilateral actions, hurting his own country, the farmers in his own country, who voted for him by huge margins in order to help out his right-wing buddy in Argentina, all while the government that his party controls remains shut down. It is a set of circumstances almost beyond parody for the so-called American first president.
Now, we did understand Argentina has been going through some serious financial pain. Even the inflation is out of control. Prices are increasing every week, and also their currency keep losing value, and a lot of people can't even afford basic things. It's bad.
The country has been in and out of debts, and this is mostly from the IMF, who have collaborated with the US to help Argentina from collapsing economically.
Let's be real. You know, US doesn't do things out of guidelines. They have to, they are getting something in return. And we understand Argentina is the biggest in South America, and they have resources. lithium. America doesn't want China to be more powerful in South America.
Whether this is a good move or not, it depends on who you ask, because some experts are saying that this is a smart move because it helps keep the region stable and protect US interests. And on the other hand, people are also saying that Washington is just trying to be a savior, and as we can see, people can't even afford healthcare and also housing. I mean, how is it trying to favor the American citizens in this case?
Last time they gave out 20 billion bailout to the same Argentina. Now it's double of the amount. And in the same country that is giving out 40 billion, people are suffering. They can't even afford basic things. And it's becoming wild, you know? And people are really asking, who is really benefited from all these bailouts? The American people? Is it Argentina people? Or even the US government?
Because in this case, the MAGA farmers are crying out loud, wondering who is going to save us, because the government is busy saving another country while we are suffering. And as we can see, China bought soybeans from Argentina and didn't buy any soybeans from the US. And we are trying to understand how can the government double the bailout while their farmers are still struggling to make a living. I mean, it's so controversial right now.
Yeah, and you know, 40 billion, it's really huge amount. You know, it can save a lot of people. As in, I don't know whether you people can understand like how people are really feeling right now. Imagine that the government can afford to bail out another country $40 billion.
While the American citizens are trying to survive with the healthcare costs, which are skyrocketing at this time.
It's crazy, yo.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. Let's just know who is really benefiting from all this.
And finally, credit goes to all the respective owners of the clips and content used in our video. Your thoughts and perspective made today's work possible.
And if you found this video helpful and you really want to see more of this, kindly give us a thumbs up. And also, if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe for us. We really appreciate if you do so. See you in the next video.